Alright, so today is June the 7th, and almost out of nowhere, F124's developers, Codemasters, have gone and released the brand new handling patch. Now here is the patch notes. I'm going to let you read through it on your own, purely because I don't understand what any of it means. The only things I understand is the gear ratios match the 2024 race data. The performance of several teams have been adjusted so that, Ferrari and McLaren are now on par with Red Bull. And honestly, has there been really much change in the midfield? I suppose Alpine have got a lot better. Williams are a little bit worse, and that's probably about it, I'd say. Actually, no, you can make Haas a lot better as well. But yeah, I'll let you read through these things, like the tyre models and slip curves, because I don't understand what those mean. So if you do, there you go. Now, down here to a general couple of things. The leaderboards in time trial have been reset. Obviously, new handling. You can now add trophies to your cabinet. Cool. This was interesting. The ERS battery will no longer drain after the per lap usage limit has been reached. I never actually noticed this while racing, but was that a thing? So if you were like around Monza or whatever, you used all of the ERS you could on that lap, it would continue draining the battery but wouldn't give you the power? That's interesting. And they've also refined the F1 World upgrade card mods and goals. I assume that we're meant to put card mods. Am I an idiot for not knowing what card mods is? No idea. Anyway, career mode. AI in career modes are now likely to have component failures and faults during a race. Now, this was something I noticed. I only play F124 when I need to record videos because I don't really like the game very much. But when I have, I've noticed that in my sort of 12 to 15 career mode races, I don't think an AI has ever had a mechanical DNF. So I'm glad they've changed that. And they've also done a lot of things to two-player career here. You can read through that if you play two-player career. I don't, so I don't know what the issues were in the first place. They've also done this, which is quite cool. So I think this was also a problem in F1 23, but like, say if like in season 2 of your career mode you were driving for like Sauber, and then in season 8 you were driving for Ferrari. If you went back to like season 2, you would still be in a Ferrari, if that makes any sense. That was a problem I noticed. That's gone. Good. And they've also improved the agent introduction cinematic. Cool. Graphics and visuals, most of this stuff is like, bug fixes and PC stuff. Then you get down to here, where it says, there's been some improvements to the visuals of the cars themselves. There's more carbon fiber particles on replays. The replay camera has improvements at tracks. They've also improved the cinematic safety car experience. Now, one thing I actually saw as well is this. Fixed a rare occurrence where the player could flashback after terminal damage and all sectors of the track would appear red. That's been a thing for like 3 F1 games. They've finally changed it. Well done, boys. Another thing that interested me, this is of course nothing to do with the handling anymore, but this, multiplayer, they have not addressed the massive bugs with ranked at all. Now, if you don't know what the bugs are in ranked and you've not actually played it, well, I did one ranked race. That's all I've done on this year's F1 game, and it was an absolute joke. For starters, instead of a 25% race, it was only a 3-lap race or a 5-lap race. One of those two. I did a race at Austria on stream. It was a 5-lap race. You could abuse track limits as much as you want. You got warnings, but never got penalties. And then I did a race off stream that was a 3-lap race at Miami. Miami wasn't even one of the 3 tracks that were chosen that week. So, it's just as buggy as F1 23's ranked before they fixed it. That was also just... It's the same thing as F1 23. 5 and 3-lap races instead of 25% races. In F1 23, actually, I had F2 races going on in that game. That's how buggy that was. But, the fact that they've not even addressed that at all is pretty shocking. And another thing to do with handling is that they have removed grass surfing. No! If you didn't know, in like time trial, you could actually have one wheel on the grass down a straight and you'd actually go quicker in a straight line. And that is most of the stuff. I mean, there's a couple miscellaneous things you can read through if they appeal to you, I'm not too sure. Now, I have been on and I have played the new handling, and I will say, it doesn't feel any different. I'm not gonna lie, I thought they would remove some of the extreme things, being the curb usage, the wheel radius, you know, being able to turn your wheel 150 degrees to get round a 30-degree corner and it being quick, the front end being way too grippy, stuff like that. But to my surprise, all of that is still in the game. You can still ride the curbs just as much, you could still turn your car a ridiculous amount of degrees to get round a much lower degree corner. The front end is still the grippiest thing in the world. The only thing I noticed is that the rear sort of comes with the front end now. Like they're now both really grippy, although the front end is still just as grippy, if that makes sense. So yeah, honestly, it doesn't feel any different. So what I've gone and done is I've done a time trial lap around Imola. I've done a time trial lap around Saudi Arabia, and I did a time trial lap around Canada. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to show these laps side by side on the pre-patch and post-patch, and all I want you to do, the laps themselves are quite slow. The main point is if you notice any severe handling changes, because personally I didn't.